Hear this. A single laugh turned a carefully staged comeback into a global punchline, and the person who helped craft that comeback became the one whispering the final dagger.
Be noted, Kinsey, that
Stay with me. You'll get the blow-by-blow of that night. Who said what, how a viral clip moved faster than a PR team, and why one tiny sound can topple reputations faster than a scandal ever could. The Balenciaga show in Paris was supposed to be Meghan Markle's spotlight moment, the kind of glossy, cinematic return to fashion that reads like a redemption scene. Cameras, couture, a front row full of icons. She arrived with an entourage, a stylist, and the kind of quiet confidence that says, "I belong here." But couture doesn't always care for confidence. It cares for nuance. And nuance, that night, was drowned out by something painfully human. A laugh. Not just any laugh, the kind of practiced, staccato giggle people notice. It landed like a dropped glass in a cathedral of fabric. Witnesses say it came at the worst possible moment, Balenciaga's finale walk, when eyes should have been glued to the runway. Instead, heads turned. Phones reached for pockets. Within minutes, the clip of Meghan laughing, loud, oddly timed, and impossibly shareable, was circulating everywhere. The real twist? The person seated beside her, Markus Anderson, the Soho House insider and longtime connector, became both the detonator and the headline. Markus, the man who allegedly introduced her to Harry and spent years smoothing her path through elite circles, was heard joking about that laugh at the afterparty. "She practices that laugh in the mirror," one source claims he said. Another witness recalled him quipping that her laugh made models lose their stride. What might have been private ribbing turned public when someone posted his remarks online with the caption, "Even her best friend is over it." From there, the machine took over. TikToks looped the laugh like a beat. Remixes paired it with runway music. Late-night hosts carved it into punchlines. Headlines leaned into mockery. The carefully curated comeback narrative, the one Meghan flew to Paris to stage, imploded into a meme. Overnight, the story shifted from fashion triumph to attention-seeking spectacle. The irony cut deep. Markus, who had polished her public image for years, had somehow become the person viewers pointed to as proof she'd crossed the line. Insiders say Meghan was crushed. After the clip spread, people close to her reported tears and fury. She'd come to Paris hoping to shed old headlines, the Netflix controversies, the failed deals, the awkward red carpet moments, and instead, she found herself trending for a single laugh. Balenciaga's backstage? People were allegedly rolling their eyes. Paris doesn't respond to volume, an anonymous source told a fashion outlet. It's about mystique. And mystique has a thin patience for Hollywood energy, but the story didn't stop at a laugh. Sources claimed Markus hinted she hadn't even been on the original guest list, that favors were called in to get her front row. Whether that's true or not, that rumor fed a new narrative. Meghan had shoved her way into the inner circle and then tripped on her own spotlight. Fashion publicists whispered. Socialists shifted. Invitations reportedly dried up. Dior and Valentino sightings that might once have followed her name were conspicuously absent. Backstage, and in private corners of Parisian club culture, things frayed. Reportedly, Meghan confronted Markus in her hotel room that night. Tears, accusations, the kind of intimate scene that's equal parts heartbreak and humiliation. He laughed it off as banter. She saw betrayal. If Markus was indeed the friend who'd opened doors for her, the fixer who erased awkwardness and manufactured introductions, then his mockery felt like losing a lifeline. And friends who become critics sting the most because they possess the receipts, the shared history, the quiet favors, the moments of vulnerability. While Meghan allegedly retreated to Montecito to let the storm pass, the clip's echoes followed. Memes compared her laugh to an air raid siren. TikTok challenges turned the moment into comedy. PR teams moved into damage control mode, reportedly begging Balenciaga for contextual footage or a spin, a way to frame the laugh as spontaneous joy rather than awkward attention-seeking. But the brand, according to insiders, declined. "We don't babysit celebrity reputations," someone said. And why would they? For fashion houses, controversy is currency, as long as it isn't their controversy. Meanwhile, Markus leaned into the noise. Seen lunching at cafes, chatting with Vogue journalists, dropping one-liners like a man unafraid of consequence, he became the slightly scandalous, mysteriously unbothered figure fashion loves. "If you can't laugh at yourself in this business, you're finished," he reportedly told a reporter, a line that landed like a perfectly timed smirk. That smirk, paired with silence where an apology might have been, read as power. He stayed in the room. Meghan was nudged toward the door. That dynamic exposed a cruel truth about both Hollywood and fashion. Both industries reward novelty and punish earnestness. People who chase reinvention without mastering the room risk being labeled inescapably out of sync. Those who navigate the social lattice with a wink and a whisper, people like Markus, often find their currency increases precisely when someone else's value takes a hit. What followed were subtle but sharp consequences.
Be noted,
People who
Kinsey,
once
that
casually offered Meghan invites reportedly slowed their outreach. Brand conversations cooled. Vogue's post-Paris roundup, sources say, ran without her name or image. The silence spoke volumes. Meanwhile, Marcus's name popped up in coverage again and again, the archetype of the insider who can make a night and break a reputation without even trying. In the days after, alleged private messages flew. Meghan reportedly sent Markus a long, raw note, equal parts plea and reproach, and the response, when it came, was silence, an unfollow, and an absence where relationship once thrived. It's a modern breakup emblem, not a slammed door but a quiet digital erasure. Years of inside access reduced to a single click. Months on, the laugh hangs like a watermark. Every public appearance draws a whisper. Don't laugh too loud. Every Markus sighting rekindles the anecdote about who called her out. Two people once linked by opportunity now exist as chapters in the same cautionary tale. How ambition, optics, and one ill-timed chuckle can redraw social maps. This episode isn't just about ridicule. It's a study in power, loyalty, and the brittle nature of curated fame. It shows how quickly a carefully managed persona can fracture when a human moment becomes someone else's joke. And it reveals a truth both glamorous and brutal. In worlds that prize subtlety and cold polish, authenticity, even when it's painfully honest, rarely wins. Sometimes silence, and the person who wields it, is louder than any laugh.